All right, what is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in. Final score tonight: Lakers over the Jazz, 124 to 118. Was trying to hurry there, get live as quick as possible, just to see if Spectrum goes down. I'm sure they're probably going to have Dalton Knecht. I'm just assuming that they're going to go to him, and as soon as they do, I'll get in on that feed as well so we can hear from him. So I appreciate you guys hanging out here. I know that the end of that game was incredibly ugly. I know the second half, really, if you just look at that fourth quarter, Lakers outscored 43 to 27, but I'm not really going to talk much about that. I think just honestly, I think the Lakers just got incredibly disinterested. I think there's a lot of other things to talk about, a lot of better things to talk about, and I'm not going to worry too much about what that fourth quarter looked like. So let's just kind of get right into it. I'm trying to figure something out here, and I'm going to try to do my absolute best to figure out what I'm watching from the Rook. Dalton Knecht had 9 threes tonight. He tied an NBA record for most threes hit by a rookie, and went through that stretch there. Guys, the hype is already out on Dalton Knecht. I mean, how many videos have I put out? How many times with the content that I've just personally put out in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, is all about Dalton Knecht. It's all about, look at what this guy can do. It's all about, this guy is more than just a three-point shooter. He can slash to the basket. He can cut. He can, fire away as quick as possible. If the league does not know about Dalton Knecht, and if somebody's out on the East Coast, tomorrow morning they're going to wake up and say, wait, is that rookie again with the Los Angeles Lakers dropping 20 plus? What do you mean he had 37 tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers? What do you mean he tied an NBA rookie record with 9 3-pointers? What do you mean he had 20 plus points in a row like he did tonight and completely took over that third quarter and was, had all of crypto.com arena talking about him and had all of Twitter, had everybody on X. I don't know if you guys can, wherever you were, if you were on social media tonight watching this game or you weren't watching the game at all, you stopped what you were doing and you said, the Rook is doing it again. Listen, not everybody is a sicko like myself and everybody else tuned into the post-game show here. Not everybody's a sicko and says to themselves, I'm going to watch Dalton Knecht or I'm going to watch the Lakers and the Utah Jazz in November. Not everybody's doing that. The Jazz suck. They're 3-10. They're now 3-11. They got the worst record in the Western Conference. Not everybody's obviously that interested. All right, I'm going to shut myself up here. I've been kind of keeping an eye out it. Let's go to Spectrum SportsNet, the man Mike Trudell with the other man Dalton Knecht.
My teammates kept looking for me and running plays, and I shout out to them and JJ for letting me go out there and keep my thing fly.
There are many things that LeBron James hasn't seen at this point, but you really had him going nuts on the bench with the rest of your teammates. What is that like, just having your teammates get into a game like that with what you're doing?
Yeah, like you said, one of the greats was out there going crazy when I was going on my hot streak. That means a lot. He has a lot of confidence in me every single day to go out there and shoot those shots. So it's always cool to go over and look at the bench and see him doing that.
I mean, you've gotten hot a couple times this year. We certainly saw it in the preseason game in Phoenix with like 20 straight points almost, but 6 for 6 from 3 in the third. Have you done that at any level in a quarter before?
Probably not in a quarter. I just found my groove. It's probably one of the best hot streaks I went on.
As literally as you can explain it, like what does the ball feel like when it's coming out of your hand at that point?
Right when I step across half court, when I get the ball, it's going in. That's what I feel like.
All right, and then the bigger picture, of course, you guys win. You improved to 2-0.
This dude is the man.
In the NBA Cup, 6 straight wins.
My
How do you feel
God.
about the team performance overall right now?
Yeah, like you said, JJ said we're not on a win streak till we get 5 in a row, so we're on a 6-game win streak, and it feels great. 2-0 in Cup, it's going to be big time for us.
All right, go stick that hand in some ice.
All right, that's Mike Trudell. That's courtesy Spectrum SportsNet. That's Dalton Knecht on the mic as well. Geez, guys, I gotta take a quick second here just to kind of gather my thoughts here of what we're seeing from this guy. I'm gonna go on a little tangent here, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. I think the Lakers just got a guy who's 23 years old, who can literally change the entire landscape of the Lakers this season. And then, years moving forward. But there's such a ripple effect that happens when you have a dude no one was expecting to be this much of a contributor, this much of an asset, this much of a lethal weapon. I'm going to put aside to what Dalton Knecht just said right there. By the way, he just said, when you're in that type of groove, when you get past half court, you just think everything's going to go in. He went a stage there. He went 6 of 6 from the 3-point line. He went 9 of 12 from the 3-point line. He went 12 of 16 from the field overall. I see there's some comments in here, and I'll tell you what it reminds me a little bit of. And then I just want to talk about how this can have the type of effect, the trickle-down effect with all these other players that the Lakers have, how much easier he makes the game for all these other dudes that are on this team. But I'm going to go back to a couple names that I saw here, and I keep seeing them, and I'm not watching all of them, but I'm just looking a little bit in the comments, and I keep seeing people put Klay Thompson's name there, Prime Klay in there. I know that's a little bit, it's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to use it too loose because Klay Thompson's one of the best to do it at that position. And Klay Thompson holds the NBA record with most threes in a game with 14. And Klay Thompson, I think, has, what do you have in a quarter? That quarter against Sacramento, it was 37, 34, 37, whatever the hell it was. It was 30-plus points, and he broke a record. Maybe using that association of saying Klay Thompson and Dalton Knecht is a careless comp. But those are Klay Thompson type of numbers. Those stats are Klay Thompson type of numbers. 9 of 12 from the 3 makes me think of the most elite shooters in the NBA and say, remember that night that player had 9 of 12 from the 3-point line, was 12 of 16 from the 3. And oh, by the way, he's a rookie. Dalton Knecht dropped 37 tonight like it was nothing. And there were, when he went on that streak, the thing that I thought was most impressive to me, it was LeBron sitting on the bench like, what the hell's going on out here? It was Anthony Davis that was turning towards the crowd and saying, are you guys watching what I'm watching? And the answer is yes, we're all watching it. We're all still trying to figure out Dalton Knecht. I genuinely have a little bit of a difficult time describing what I'm seeing from somebody this young, but somebody that just clearly belongs in the league and is going to be an asset for the Lakers for years to come. So that's the best way that I can describe it. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I'm describing it well enough, but let me go actually to something that I was thinking about when I was watching the game. And this is why I think this could be such an incredible asset for the Lakers moving forward. I'll explain what I'm talking to or what I'm referring to here. When the season started, you knew Anthony Davis had to carry this Lakers team. You knew LeBron had to be basically a triple-double machine or, okay, Bron, go get your 23 to 25. Also chip in with 7 or 8 rebounds. And then, you know what, Bron, we also need you to get 8 assists. After that, the question mark with the rest of the team was, how confident are you that Austin Reeves has to be the 3rd best scorer on this team? Listen, he can do it. He definitely can. It's not that he can't. But I think most people would say, yeah, I wish Austin Reeves was the 4th option on this team. How confident are you that night in and night out, D'Angelo Russell and his skill set and his game and his inconsistency can be there every single night? Yeah, clearly that's shown this year that man can't do that. Is there another player on this Lakers team that could potentially become the 3rd best player or the 3rd best scorer on this Lakers squad? We might have it with Dalton Knecht. When I say the trickle-down effect, what I mean by that, when I say what it means if Dalton Knecht becomes all of a sudden a real weapon for the Lakers, the trickle-down effect means that now LeBron James is not just looking at Anthony Davis or looking at Austin Reeves as an option to distribute the rock. Now he's eyeing, where is Dalton Knecht? Now D'Angelo Russell, when he comes in a game and he's coming in off the bench and LeBron and Anthony Davis are maybe taking a breather, or maybe he's playing with Anthony Davis, but he's the primary ball handler. D'Angelo Russell is a distributor. By nature, in his blood, that guy wants to dish the ball. He's also a good shooter. He's also found ways to, obviously be a contributor on offense. But in his DNA, he wants to pass. D'Angelo Russell will find Dalton Knecht if he needs to, and he's got no problem doing it. Now, all of a sudden, Austin Reeves doesn't have to be a guy that's like, okay, the team needs me. I got to get 18 to 20 for this team because they need that from me. Now he could be a player where either he can score more naturally or he could even be a guy that's distributing. The point I'm trying to make is with that much attention on one player that nobody was really counting on to have this type of influence on a night in, night out basis. And listen, Dalton Knecht is going to eventually cool down. The guy's not going to go 9 of 12 from the 3-point line. He's not going to go. I know there were some ridiculous stats out there. I don't even know if I see him here. But Trudell had some stats out there. Spectrum had some stats of how he shot over these last couple of games. The trickle-down effect that I'm talking about is if that's your weapon out of nowhere, it makes everybody's life easier on this Lakers team. And that's really, I think, the biggest point to take away. This Lakers team is now 10-4. That's all great and dandy. And some of that's going to just merely have to do with it's just merely going to have to do with some of the teams that they've played. They got off to a good start. Yeah, there have been some stars that are missing, but Lakers are taking advantage of the opponents that are in front of them. So give them all the credit in the world. But I think what's more exciting is you got a real player on this team that no one was anticipating. Listen, I don't care how bold, how excited you were about Dalton Knecht. I had a friend of mine that right when the Lakers drafted Dalton Knecht, he's a big Tennessee Volunteer fan, and he followed Tennessee in college or college ball. And he was telling me, he's like, bro, you guys got a guy. Dalton Knecht is a player. Okay, even if everybody hypes him up, even if everybody, talks about how great Dalton Knecht is, okay, but once he gets into the NBA, it's going to take some time. Can you really have that much impact? It's a shooter's league. This is all about can you hit jumpers? And the Lakers never, you guys tell me a sniper that it's been years since they had a real sniper, and they got one. So just incredibly impressive. And like I mentioned, and I'll continue to mention in this post-game show, it could potentially take the Lakers into being a team that without going into the trade market yet, without going out there and drafting or giving up 2 of your draft picks to go try to get more talent, they got an incredible piece of talent that's already on the team that can obviously take them to another level. All right, let me get into a couple comments here, and then we're going to keep going. Rookie of the year here. Thank you very much for the super, Alex. I appreciate it. Awesome Power Z. Thank you very much for the super. I appreciate that as well. The King all day, AD and D connection. That's Awesome Power Z again as well. Thank you very much for the super. As you guys can imagine, there are a lot of comments. Man, look what this one dude has done, even to just the Laker fan base. There's an incredible amount of people that are on this stream right now, and that's primarily because they want to hear me talk about Dalton Knecht, right? They want as much Dalton Knecht conversation as they possibly can, and obviously I'm going to try to deliver it for them. But that's just amazing. That's just incredible what this guy was able to do. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, the thing that I pay most attention to is that ripple down effect that we're talking about here. All right, let me get another one of these supers here. Appreciate the super. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, please subscribe if you guys don't mind doing that. I would greatly appreciate it as we try to close in on 30,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for doing that. Knecht insane. It's funny. I'm going to say this because there isn't too many times that you can catch yourself watching a game and, pausing for a second and saying, what the hell am I watching? What do you mean he's just hit? Did he just hit 3 in a row? What do you mean he just hit 4 in a row? What do you mean the entire crowd at Crypto.com Arena is going crazy? That's only going to happen. Look, there's only certain times and situations that happens. Maybe Bron is on a heater. Maybe Bron throws a lob to Anthony Davis. We all know this, and this happens back in the Kobe days. Things would go off. All these players, you have certain moments. Dalton Knecht just had one of those moments as a Los Angeles Laker in his rookie year. He had one of those moments. All right, let's keep going here. And as soon as we hear something from JJ Redick and some of these other guys give thoughts, I'm watching some of the highlights here in the background, and Anthony Davis churning to the crowd. I can't get that vision off my head. Puts his hands on top of his head and is like, what the hell am I watching? And the answer is, I don't know. The quick trigger as well. Again, watching this, Bron getting him, D'Lo with a nice screen, and Knecht with the quick trigger. There's so many things to be excited about with this dude. I don't know what to tell you. And listen, I see a couple of the other comments that are saying Lakers almost lost the game. You're not wrong. I mean, the end of that game was ugly, but did anybody ever fear that the Lakers were not going to win this game? They were going to win this game. It just kind of came down to them not playing too much with their food. Dalton Knecht may never leave the starting lineup, Al. Yeah, it's when I saw the starting lineup today, and it was Cam Reddish with Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht. Yeah, listen, you might be right. It just might be that simple. No, why would we take this guy out of the starting lineup? By the way, if you can just have, and I don't know what they're going to do with Rui Hachimura. Maybe Rui, kind of like D'Angelo Russell, is better off coming off the bench where he could be a little bit more of a focal point. That's up to JJ Redick and the rest of their staff to figure out. But if we're going to go by the common sense piece of this, remember I was talking about this, that one of the things I like about JJ Redick is he's got common sense. This makes sense. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try this. It's not working. I'm going to go away from it. I'm going to try something different because I don't like how this equals that or whatever the case is. That's kind of what he's been doing, but maybe there is some common sense here. Maybe there is just no way to take Dalton Knecht out of that starting lineup. All right, let's at least at the beginning here, let's take a quick listen to JJ Redick, Spectrum SportsNet.
In shooting drills, you watch a guy in small group games, you watch a guy in pickup for a few weeks. It's obvious that he's a shot maker, and he was phenomenal tonight. I thought, they tried to run that zone and kind of shot them out of it, but that was all D'Lo. Like we had talked, during the free throw, hey, just, get to this. And, DK is going to be open. D'Lo hit him 2 or 3 times in a row. Bron checked in the game. D'Lo sits the flare screen for him for that. I think that 4th or the 5th one in that run. I don't know what his stats are offensively, but D'Lo was great tonight. Like orchestrating defensively, his activity. The guy had a low man block shot against John Collins. Like that stuff does not go overlooked. He was great tonight. But we're happy for Dalton. It was as a shooter, it's fun to watch a guy who can get hot like that.
Kind of two on him, JJ. A lot of those came off of actions that
we'll talk D'Lo after this as well. I like the idea
as
of
you're
talking
drawing
D'Lo.
up plays to get him into spots. Like, how fun is that for you? Do you ever think are these actions you ran, or these things that as a shooter, do you kind of go into that space?
Some of them are not. I didn't have a lot of these modern concepts, unfortunately. I had to get it out of the mud. We're cognizant of for, AD and LeBron primarily with drawing up ATOs, and Dalton as a rookie gets what's left, when he's in the game, and we feel like we have a good flow. Like there's opportunities. He missed a couple, I think, out of ATOs we executed perfectly. There was a play, I think it was the one where he got fouled on right after he got hot, and it was coming out of off a make, and we just I called the play, and we got right to it, and that was with Christian. So that's a big deal for Christian, just to recognize D'Lo and DK, all of them just executing it, getting a good look, and obviously they fouled him on the elbow, but it's fun. It's fun. I have to be cognizant sometimes when I get really excited when I see an ATO or I have an idea to not have them all drawn up for Dalton. Like that's just it's the reality.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. Spectrum SportsNet right there. We're listening to JJ Redick talk a little bit about Dalton Knecht. And I'm gonna go to D'Lo here in just a second, because I think that's going to be a good transition. Maybe how much what Dalton is doing can actually take a lot of pressure off D'Angelo Russell and have him potentially play to some of his strengths. Let me get it to another super here. By the way, if you're sending a super, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys doing that. Means a lot to me. Whether you're hanging out here and you're throwing up comments, doesn't have to be a super, but if you're here and you're spending time on this post-game show, I know there's obviously a lot of places that you can be at. Thank you very much for doing it. It means the world to me. All I ask is that you subscribe to the channel. Really, really would appreciate you subscribing and liking to the channel. AR Slee, I think Dalton saw the video you made about him and gave him a boost. Thanks for the show, boss. I did. Listen, on Sunday, I was like, I felt like, what's the best example I can give? So Saturday, I do the post-game show. A lot of Laker fans are excited about Dalton Knecht, and I'm sitting back. I'm saying to myself, Sunday rolls around. I'm like, I can't wait till Monday. Wait, I got to wait till Monday to do a show on Dalton Knecht. Let me just do an exclusive show on Sunday for him. So I did that. But hey, he's feeding the content because he's giving you a reason to talk about him, and it's been very easy to talk about him and very easy to compliment what he's doing so far. Okay. A lot of comments. I'm going to just say this here real quick. And don't forget the lights at crypto when you leave sleep. I have it all set up on my phone. So even on the app, I can turn on the lights. I could turn them on. I could turn them off anytime, guys. Don't worry about the lights. I got it. We're fully aware of the electricity and everything else. Okay. So let me go on D'Lo here for a quick second, because I thought what JJ Redick was saying there, and it's kind of go back to kind of the point I was trying to make a little bit earlier. I don't know how comfortable D'Angelo Russell is on this team and his role. I don't. I really don't. There was a report out there, and I was going to get into it tomorrow when I'm doing my show. By the way, for those who don't know, Monday through Friday on YouTube, I'm doing a show from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. A lot of heavy Laker stuff, but I am hitting other sports as well. But, of course, a lot of Laker stuff as well. But there was this chatter around D'Angelo Russell, and somebody had reported that it was Anthony Irwin had reported that Russell is a very good offensive point guard. He understands the rhythm sport. Okay, it goes into all these things. But then he said something to the effect of, because the Lakers got him coming off the bench, that there could potentially be less interest. They might be reluctant to trade D'Angelo Russell. This isn't a trade D'Lo conversation. I'm just going to tell you how having another player like Dalton Knecht on this team can help a guy like D'Angelo Russell. I don't think it's in his blood to go out there and try to drop 35 a night. I just don't. I don't think that's in his game. I think what he does, his natural instinct is to facilitate. And if D'Lo has guys, especially where the ball is in his hands, if you're on the same team with LeBron James, there's going to be a limited amount of touches that you get. And when he was in the starting lineup, and I'll keep saying this because a week before D'Lo went to the bench, somebody here on YouTube, I think it was on the post-game show here, suggested D'Lo should come off the bench. And I sat there and I paused, and I think I was live on the broadcast where I did this. And I'm like, that's a really good idea. I think actually he'd be much better off coming off the bench. But I don't think anybody knew who to throw into the starting lineup. I don't think anybody thought Dalton Knecht should go into the starting lineup. The point I'm making is D'Lo coming off the bench now, he's got the ball. Okay, LeBron, go get your breather. Now we got another point guard that can be on the floor and still have a guy that can set up everybody else to eat. I don't think D'Lo walks into games and says, I got to get mine. He doesn't. That's just not. Of all the things that I might not be crazy about in D'Lo's game, the one thing I like about D'Lo, he's not selfish. I think D'Lo would prefer dishing the rock to somebody that's open, somebody who's cutting, to Anthony Davis in the post before he goes and gets his own shot. So now having a player where LeBron is off the floor and D'Lo can just kind of play more naturally of the type of player that he is. Austin Reeves in the starting lineup, LeBron's in the starting lineup, Anthony Davis is the starting lineup. There's a lot of mouths to feed there. Even Rui Hachimura, who doesn't necessarily need the ball, is going to take some of his shots. He's going to take some of the looks that he wants. I think tonight was a good example of, there's a play right now they're showing on Spectrum. D'Lo gets a block, which we may never see again. And then, no, it was a really nice block. I mean, just nobody expected it on Jason Collins. And ends up dishing the rock to Dalton Knecht, cutting, kind of throws a no-look pass to Dalton Knecht. That is D'Angelo Russell. That's what he wants to do. So whether he had a great game tonight or not, JJ Redick going out of his way in the post-game interview to highlight D'Angelo Russell, I think there's a good reason to do that. All right, let's get into some of the individual players, and then we'll go from there. Utah, by the way, I said Jason Collins. John Collins was who D'Angelo Russell blocked. Okay, let's get into some of the other players other than Dalton Knecht, who dropped 37, who had 5 rebounds, who went 9 of 12 from the field, who went 4 of 5 from the free throw line. I think had hit 21, 22 straight free throws in a row, and was 12 of 16 from the field, other than Dalton Knecht. AD gave you 26 and 14, plus 6 dimes. How about that from Anthony Davis? That's not something you see every day. LeBron gave you 26 and 12, so 26 points, 12 assists for Anthony Davis as well. And even Austin Reeves gave you 17 and 5. I mean, my gosh, the starting lineup. 37, 26, 26, and 17. 4 out of your 5 starters, all of them dropped more than 17 points, and your rookie led the way with 37. I like what they were mentioning on the broadcast, watching the game. So there were a couple of times that AD's talking here real quick. Let's get one quick one in from Anthony Davis, just so I could see, what he's hitting on, and then I'll go back to what I was saying. Take a quick listen.
We got to be better in that department, but I think, just over the stretch, we've just been playing for each other, playing extremely hard, playing physical. Everything that, we set out to be at the team, we're kind of showing that we've been better. Still got work to do, but been better in transition with where we struggled. A little slippage in the defensive rebounding. But I think, offensively and defensively overall, we've been better.
You left the court after that Collins infraction. Did you get a sense of could you hear what was going on in the
I was watching it. Yeah, I was watching it back here. So
yeah, I think the camera caught you coming back out the tunnel and just kind of
he just made another one. I seen him make 4, and then I walk out and he made the 5th one. So it's crazy.
Are you worried that that's the good luck charm for shooting?
What? Me getting hit? Oh no.
All right, I'll stop it there. They're excited about him. I mean, a lot of these guys, the quotes, and these are just the quotes that we're getting tonight, but there were a lot more quotes after, Saturday's game. A lot of these players are excited about him. A lot of these players also sense they got something. They got something special. When they're running the floor, let's hunt. Let's find, where is Dalton Knecht? You got to know where he is on the floor. Utah, it's, I don't know what they were doing with that zone. You got a shooter like that. You got to go box and 1 or something. I mean, put one guy on him. You can't leave this guy unaccounted for. And it felt like the Utah Jazz were. But when I say they're excited about him, what I'm talking about there is they know that this isn't a fluke. Sometimes you might have a guy that just goes off, right? You might just have a dude that just had a really good night, played well, and you won't see it again for another 3 weeks or a month, or maybe you won't see it again all season. I think all of these guys know we got a real player here that's going to be a contributor all year long, and that's what they're excited about. And they can kind of see that, all right, we can't look at this guy the same way. What's going to eventually happen is he'll become less of a story, because we're getting more and more comfortable with seeing it. It becomes a little bit more consistent. Again, he's not going to go 9 to 12 from the 3-point line. He's not going to drop 37 every single night. But it's not going to be uncommon that Dalton Knecht goes 5 of 10 from the 3-point line. It's not going to be uncommon where Dalton Knecht has a night where you're like, damn, this dude dropped another 8 threes, and oh, by the way, gave you 28. the better teams that you start playing too, you get to the Oklahoma City Thunders of the world. They got Denver coming up on Saturday. We'll see if Jokic is playing in that game. There's going to be better teams out there that, the Utah Jazz are the Utah Jazz at 3-10, but 37 in the NBA is 37. And 37 in the NBA as a rookie, that's a completely different level. Cameron, last time I was this excited about a Lakers rookie. You're not the only one. I think there's a lot of people saying that as well. Slee about to make 500 jumpers before he calls it a night. Yeah, I don't leave. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. By the way, I will say this. In all my life playing basketball, you guys always make the final shot. I always got to hit a 3 before I leave. Or, okay, some kind of a jumper. If I don't want to shoot a 3, you always got to hit your final shot before you get off the court, right? I mean, I hope you guys always do that. You guys do the same thing too. I mean, I better not have been the only one. D'Lo blocked Butler like that in Minnesota too, but Braun came in and disrupted the offense after Knecht was on fire. Come on, man. What we throwing why do we have to find an angle on Braun on that one? Okay, real quick, I'll say this as well in regards to this game specifically. You can't give up, obviously, 43 points in the fourth quarter like the Lakers did. Stu Lance said something I think was the perfect explanation. We all watch this in the NFL. Prevent defense. Your team goes up by 2 scores, and all of a sudden your squad's playing prevent defense. They're not aggressive anymore. How they got the lead, they completely went against it, and now that team is chipping away. Next thing you know, you look up at the fourth quarter, there's 2 minutes left to play, and you're tied at 27. Stu was referring to prevent defense for the Lakers. It was like, okay, hey, let's just hold on to the lead. And then, of course, if you're trying to just hold on, then that lead starts slipping. That's the one thing that I think we can all agree on. You can't do that if you're the Lakers. You can't, as a squad taking on a team like the Utah Jazz. Did we really need to see AD and Braun play 34 minutes each tonight? Did we really need to see Dalton Knecht? I mean, Knecht, that's fine. He's a rookie. Play his 38 or whatever he ended up playing tonight. Austin Reeves played 33. I think we were all hoping to see Max Christie and Gabe Vincent and Christian Coloco and anybody else that was available for the Lakers. I think we were all hoping to see big-time minutes from those guys, not necessarily the main 3 or the main 4 from the Lakers. So do they have to clean up that portion? Yes, they do. I don't think anybody's really arguing that, but I said it from the beginning, this game was never in jeopardy, ever. And if the Lakers needed to churn it up or they needed to wake up a little bit, they would. So I wasn't overly concerned with that. Definitely not overly concerned with that. Again, Kadada, thank you for the super. I appreciate it. Okay. I will look at this here real quick because I'm more just have some curiosity here. Now that the Lakers just won another game. So here's where the Lakers now are in the Western Conference. So OKC has lost 2 games in a row. So they're sitting at 11-4. Golden State lost their last game. They lost, I want to say it was yesterday, to the Los Angeles Clippers. They're 10-3. Houston's got a loss. They lost against the Bucks, I want to say, last night. They're 10-5. So the Lakers at 10-4 right now are sitting with the 3rd best record in the Western Conference, and they've won 6 games in a row. Yeah, the entire NBA is weird right now. I'm going to get in this tomorrow when I do my show, but the whole league is I don't understand the entire league right now. You got Memphis at 8-7. That's more the injuries. Sacramento, they might just be an 8-7 team. Dallas is 8-7, but they've won 3 games in a row. And then the bottom feeders are probably the teams that are always going to be there. Portland, New Orleans, and Utah are the 3 teams, the worst teams in the Western Conference. East, I can't even explain to you the East. Cavs played Boston earlier today. Pretty good game. Cavs couldn't hit a shot if their life depended on it. No Kristaps Porzingis, but that was obviously the 2 teams, the undefeated team of the Cavs, and Cavs got their first loss of the season. But after Cavs and the Boston Celtics, I got no idea what the Eastern Conference is as well. All right, let's take a look at some of your comments. I know I haven't spent too much time on that, so let's do that right now. If you got comments, throw them in, and I'll try to get to them as we speak here. Let's see what we got. Who are the contenders for Rookie of the Year in the NBA right now? So Sammy, who does the preview videos, did a video earlier today, and he kind of listed. I want to say Dalton Knecht right now is 5th on that list. The center from Memphis, Iddy, is on that list. I want to say he's number 4. What are a couple of the other guys? San Antonio, that rookie from San Antonio better be on that list. There's a few different players on there, but I think they had him 5th right now as far as Rookie of the Year. It's still very early in the season, and Dalton Knecht is just really starting to get some opportunities now. And if the Lakers, keep playing or keep winning, and Dalton Knecht has a lot to do with that, then they're 1,000%. His opportunity to potentially win Rookie of the Year certainly increases just because of everything I just said. He's on a winning team. He's actually contributing. So, that's obviously something to keep in mind there. But, I'm not too worried. I am not too worried about Dalton Knecht winning Rookie of the Year. I'm not. And I know people want that to happen just because he's playing so well and people genuinely want to see his success. But I would just say this with Dalton Knecht. He's on a squad with LeBron, with Anthony Davis, with D'Lo, with Austin Reeves, and he's representing the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't worry about that award. Don't worry about that. You just keep doing what you're doing, because where a lot of rookies might win Rookie of the Year or be in contention is because maybe they're playing on a really bad team. Maybe they're contributing because they're part of the future and they're going to get 35 minutes a night. Maybe they're going to get Rookie of the Year because they're shooting 20, 25 shots a game. The difference with Dalton Knecht on this team, the Lakers need him. That is such a big difference than most rookies that come out whenever they come out, whether they're ready or they're not ready. They need him. They are so incredibly dependent on a shooter. They haven't had a shooter in how long? So I think for Dalton Knecht, he's in the best position. The position that he's in is he's on a team that there's just no player like him that's on this Lakers roster. And this is a league where, how many years have we gone where we haven't said the Lakers just haven't had a shooter? They haven't had a consistent shooter and a real sniper. Well, now he's on a squad where there's the proper distributors like LeBron, like D'Angelo Russell. I don't think Austin Reeves is a selfish guy. You got a lot of attention is going to go to Anthony Davis. He's on a perfect team, and the team needs him. They literally will get wins because Dalton Knecht is on the squad. So that's obviously something that, I don't know if other people can say that, and I don't know if, some of these other rookies, but I'm not watching these other rookies, to be honest with you, close enough to know what they're contributing night in and night out. But I do know that he was 5th, something along those lines, 5th in that Rookie of the Year standings, or whatever you want to call it. All right, so one comment here that caught my attention. Somebody said something that I think him and I related with. Where the hell is that damn comment? You guys stop putting in comments here. I'm getting lost here. Somebody said, yeah, you can't leave the court without hitting a shot. Got to hit that last shot. Maybe sometimes it took me 30 minutes to hit that last shot. All right, let's see what we got here. Appreciate all the compliments here. Thank you. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Damn, this dude, Dalton Knecht, kind of changed this entire landscape for the Lakers here. I'm not kidding. For the last couple of weeks, he's kind of completely changed the landscape of how people are looking at the Lakers, how Laker fans are looking at. I guarantee you there were probably fans that walked in today and they wanted to see LeBron, they wanted to see Anthony Davis, maybe Austin Reeves because he's been there for a couple of years, and they walked away saying, Dad, can we go to the team store real quick? I'm going to go ahead and grab me a Dalton Knecht jersey. I was saying this on Sunday when I recorded my video. I don't know how many they have that are sitting there how many jerseys that they have, but they better start ordering some more because there's going to be a lot more people that are walking around with a Knecht jersey on the back. Slee, I'm from the OC, but the next time I'm in San Diego, I'll hit up Julian Beer Company. Go Lakers. Badass brewery. Great brewery. So many good breweries around. All across Southern California, there's great breweries, but Julian Beer Company and just Mount Julian, that area, it's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Great fresh air out there, too, this time of the year. Slee about to wax the court. Bro, listen, let me tell you something here. Kennedy Recreation Center, okay? First off, 4.5 years I worked there, almost 5 years. You don't think part of my job was let's get this gym ready? Let's get this gym ready. Had the kids running suicides out there. All right? Touch every freaking baseline before we go anywhere. All right, let's keep looking here. A couple more here, and then we'll call it a day. Unless you guys got something else you guys want me to hit on. We're not going to go too much longer on this one. I'll be back tomorrow morning anyways. Slee is changing the post-game title to the Knecht Show. Damn. I mean, that's all anybody wanted me to talk about. Pelinka ain't reading chats for trade ideas. I'll tell you something that Pelinka is doing at the moment. Pelinka's taking a victory lap right now, and he should take a victory lap. I'll tell you what I mean by that. You guys remember before the draft and last trade deadline, all we were talking about was you got 3 first-rounders. Go start shopping them. Okay? Lakers season ended. You better shop that draft pick that you got coming up, that number 17 pick. That thing better be out of the way. Get rid of that thing. What can you really do with a number 17 pick that's going to help you this upcoming season? We already saw Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie. Like, how much can these guys really help you? Or some of them are just busts and you made the wrong pick. Rob Pelinka right now is probably walking out of Crypto.com arena with his shoulders back, his head held high, and saying, I freaking held on to that pick, whether he wanted to or he had no choice or he couldn't find the right trade. And Dalton Knecht fell on his lap. So the good thing is you still got 2 first-rounders. You still got very tradable contracts that are on your roster right now. Go package those deals, and you still have Dalton Knecht, and you still keep Dalton Knecht, and you can still walk around and tell everybody, guys, I knew it. I mean, he could just BS all he wants. He could say, guys, I knew Dalton Knecht might come to us. That's why I didn't trade that pick. And you know what? I look like a genius now. Is it true? Probably not, but he can sit there and ride that for as long as he wants. But I still think the Lakers will be making a trade. I still really believe that because especially right now, if you're sitting here and you're looking at your team and you look at the standings and you're saying, okay, hey, they're 10-4. They're off to a great start. Looks like they could hang with a lot of these teams. But to win a NBA championship or to be considered one of the 3 best teams in the league, I think they got to go make a deal. And I think there's deals to be had. And even if you have to overpay for it, you got 2 first-rounders left. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis on your roster. I mean, if you're not going to do it now, there is no tomorrow. And you got a budding young superstar that's coming out of nowhere and kind of taking the league by storm. All right, let's take a look at a couple more of these here. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Looks like Lakers found a diamond. DK, if the Lakers sell this kid off for an old bum, I'm done. He ain't going there. I'm telling you guys right now that he's not going anywhere. He's as close to, it's going to sound a little crazy when I say this, but yeah, he's as close to untouchable, at least from some of these Laker players. Why would you trade a guy that you have control over, is going to be very affordable for X amount of years, has a skill set that is literally how the NBA is built today? Today's game is built by shooters. The problem is there just isn't that many great shooters like Dalton Knecht. That dude ain't going anywhere. But those 2 draft picks that you have, some of these other players on your roster, they can be shipped away. It's just not going to include Dalton Knecht. I could virtually guarantee you that's not happening. Dalton's shooting form looks beautiful, just like Slee was. I gotta be honest, I probably have to show him a couple things. You know what I mean? I have to kind of pull him to the side and say, Dalton, come here for a second, bro. Come here for a second. What's going on with your elbow? Yeah, but why is your elbow? Clean it up a little bit. Clean it up a little bit. I mean, there's kids watching here. Are you trying to teach the next generation, or are you trying to teach a sloppy jump shot? Get that elbow in a little bit. You got to teach the guy here. You know, these kids these days, they walk in, get that elbow in. We're done. No more. No more. You guys set me up. What do you guys want me to do? If you guys lob one up to me, I'm going to go up off the top rope. Go off the top rope. A young, cheaper Clay. Buck wild move by Rob. Hey, whether he got lucky or not, sometimes part of life is you get lucky and you just you take advantage of it and you go from there. Dalton is the dog he was in the NCAA, and I'm not surprised at his early success. I'm surprised. You know, a lot of guys can have great success in the NCAA tournament, but to have the success he's having right now and doing what he's doing, it's damn impressive. Show us the form. Come on, you know the form. Got to listen. First off, put the mic here for a quick second. Got to get that elbow in, right? This is your guide hand. But at the end, it's just that right. It's going to go up with you, but left hand is basically just guiding. Right hand is handling everything else. Okay? We all know the form. By the way, I don't do that just for free. That's how I make my money. I make my money just off teaching form. $79.99. 15 minutes with Slee. Okay, that should do it. That should do it. Guys, I appreciate it. If I'm going through form and giving you my rates, I think that should do it. Not overly, you know, the win part of this, not that big of a deal. It's a W against the Utah Jazz. But I think we can all agree that something really cool is happening with this Lakers team because a young rookie is going to have a lot of impact on this team for the rest of the season. And like I mentioned from the beginning, that trickle-down effect, because he's an asset, because he's a shooter, what does that do? How does that help Anthony Davis of getting more space because guys can't help off of Dalton Knecht? How does that help a guy like LeBron James that now says to himself, if you're open, I'm going to find you. If you just give me a little bit of a crease, I'm going to find you for that 25-footer. How does that help Austin Reeves? There's not as much pressure on his shoulders to have to hold the burden of, I got to be the third best scorer on this team. How much does that help a guy like D'Angelo Russell when he's coming out off the bench and he's trying to orchestrate that offense? I know I got a guy that I could depend on in Dalton Knecht. That's really my takeaway from tonight's game. It's less to do with the Lakers beating the Jazz. That part is nice. It should happen. They should have probably won by 20 or 25. But it's more about opening up what this team can be. I'm back on tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. with my cup of Joe steaming in front of everybody. I hope you guys can join me for my 100% independent journey on YouTube. I started on YouTube years ago and was doing a post-game show before I had the official post-game show, obviously on the Lakers radio broadcast. And I'm here today. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. And I'm looking forward to what this channel can be. If you want to support me and you want to support this channel, very simple. Just subscribe and like the video. Please subscribe and like the video. If you can do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out for over 45 minutes. Good night tonight for the Lakers. Great night for Dalton Knecht. And really cool to see what this guy's going to eventually be. Back on tomorrow at 8 a.m. As you guys can imagine, a lot more Laker conversation coming up as well. Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Appreciate the support. Thank you to everybody that's doing the super chat as well. Have a great